A committed decision is not a correct or a right decision. A committed decision is designing a plan that you want to commit 100% to, and a willingness day in, day out to stop each afternoon and ask yourself, am I living according to this plan? What am I really enjoying? What's really sucking my energy? And I'll be determined to do more of the things that are getting the best out of me, that I feel are really important and meaningful, and I will do my best to go and reduce and eradicate all of the things that are reducing my motivation, my engagement, my energy. There it is, Pedraza, Madrid, about an hour and 40 minutes now. Pedraza. It's Conor here in Pedraza, a medieval village town about 2 hours north of Madrid. I've been here for the last 2.5 days for a Vistage group retreat. And what I wanted to share with you this week was a video on the theme of committed decisions. And a few months ago during COVID, I shared a video talked about the difference between a decision and a choice. And anyway, a choice is a committed decision. A choice is something that you commit to make happen. I remember years ago in the IESE Aula Magna, one of the founders of Infosys, one of the Indian software companies, came to IESE, and there was a question from the audience. An MBA student asked, how do you take good decisions? And this guy, the founder of Infosys, said, I don't take a lot of time to take good decisions. I take decent decisions and then I work very hard to make them great decisions. And this is the nature of a committed decision, that you take some time to look at what is the choice, but then you put all of your effort into making sure that the choice you take turns out to be a successful, effective choice. And in my own life, at times I look and I think the times that I've taken reasoned decisions, where I've thought hard about the pros and the cons and looked at laying everything out and then taken the best decision, when I've taken the best decision, it's the best decision because it's the best choice, it opens more options, the money's better. If it fails, I haven't failed. I took a good decision, but something changed. Where I've taken a poor decision, where I've made a choice where it's not best for my career, it's not the best, it's hard to explain to others why I've made this choice, such as moving to Australia. When I moved to Australia, it wasn't for my career, it wasn't for anything, it was just to explore and see what it was like to live the other side of the world. But because it wasn't a good decision, I remember suddenly realizing I need to make this work. I need to make this work for me. I need to make this work as a career thing. And I got so much greater clarity on my responsibility to do the work to make it work out well, to make that those years that I lived in Australia were of value to me, to the people around me, to the company, to the world. And very often when I've taken a good decision, it takes away the responsibility, my responsibility to make it work out. So I think very often in our lives we need to take some dumb decisions, but are choices to follow a path that in a way is a bit crazy. But if you take a decision that's a bit crazy and it works out wrong, you're to blame. If you take a decision that is a bit crazy, you have to make it work, because otherwise people will be right, it was a poor decision. But this idea of a committed decision is not worrying too much about whether the world will make it work, and worrying a great deal about what you're going to put into place to make sure that it turns out well, and that whatever happens, whatever you need to overcome, you're willing to put the work, the effort, and find the resources to make it happen. And I remember years ago when I was thinking of beginning Vistage in Spain, they asked me to prepare a business plan. And I spent 2 months, and as a good MBA student, as a good professor in an MBA world, I took 2 months to craft a really good grade A business plan, taking in data from all the databases, the market studies, the route to market, the product price, and after 2 months I'd created a business plan for building Vistage as a business in Spain. And I remember to check whether this was a good plan, I went to speak with a good friend of mine, Tony. And I said, Tony, you're a coach, you understand coaching. Would you look at this business plan and tell me what you think is good, what's bad? Would you tell me if this is a good plan? And Tony just pushed the plan back to me, looked me in the eyes, and he said, Conor, 1 to 10, how much do you want to make this happen? 10, absolutely. 9, you're really determined. 7, so-so. 4, not really. And I remember when he asked me the question, I'd been spending the last 2 months doing stuff that I really didn't enjoy. In databases, doing research, compiling market studies, was not activity that I enjoyed. And when Tony asked me the question and I looked back at him, and his question was 1 to 10, how much do you want to make this business work? I looked at him and I said, 4. And he says, well, Conor, if your answer's 9 or 10, sooner or later this is going to be a success. 7 or less, stay home. And I remember after that conversation with Tony, I took that business plan and I threw it into the bin. And I stopped and I thought about what needs to be true for Vistage to be a 10 for me. For it personally, professionally, short-term, medium, long-term, to be something that I sincerely want and I'm committed to building it, because I believe it's great for the world, but it's also great for me. It's great long-term, but I'm also going to enjoy or find a way of enjoying the necessary steps in making this happen and finding meaning in why I'm doing this. And for me, that step of, I think it was important that I spent 2 months really understanding the market, really thinking about a business plan. But it was also important to take that plan and throw it in the bin and stop and think, okay, what's it going to take for me to build something that I want to be part of, that I believe in, that I'm not willing to tolerate mediocrity or something that I don't enjoy or see positive meaning over the short, medium and long term in. And that moment for me was transformational, of deciding I need to build a plan that I am number 10 motivated, committed to long term make it happen. And I think for you in your life, whether it's your career, whether it's a project, whether it's a startup, if you think about the plan you have for the next 10 years, are you a level 9 or 10 committed to put everything you have in terms of making this happen? And if you're not, I think you need to stop and think about what needs to change for this project to be something that pulls in a 9 or 10 of your commitment to make it work. So a committed decision is not a correct or a right decision. A committed decision is designing a plan that you want to commit 100% to, and a willingness day in, day out to stop each afternoon and ask yourself, am I living according to this plan? What am I really enjoying? What's really sucking my energy? And I'll be determined to do more of the things that are getting the best out of me, that I feel are really important and meaningful. And I will do my best to go and reduce and eradicate all of the things that are reducing my motivation, my engagement, my energy. And the world, we have incredible locus of control. We have an incredible capacity to choose to make things work. And the question, how will the future be? Well, if you make committed decisions, it will be the way that you create it. And I think the great thing is, when you're in the process of creating, you discover new things. Once you're in motion, you discover things that you didn't know when you began. Opportunities will come in, people will come in, once they see that you are truly committed. And I think for me that has happened in Vistage, that this transformation from building a plan that was a reasonable plan to throwing that out and saying, well, what is a plan I'm willing to 100% put my life into, attracts a different level of person, attracts a different level of engagement of the people around me. And I've had some ups and downs over the years, but I think that the project that is Vistage is still a 9 or a 10 every day as something I'm committed to using everything I have, the resources I have, my capacity, the capacities I can develop, to make sure that it not only is a successful business but turns into an institution that lasts for a very long time and has a great impact on as many high integrity, positive leaders as possible. So a committed decision is not a good decision. It's a decision that you are willing to put yourself 100% behind. And I hope that you look at the areas of your life that are important to you and decide, am I 9 or 10 level committed to making it happen? Or am I going through the motions? And if you're going through the motions, maybe you should take that plan, just throw it in the bin and stop and think, what would it take for me to be 9 or 10 committed to really making this happen? Because it transforms everything when the world sees that you are that level committed. So this is Conor here from Pedraza. Have a great week. Thank you for your likes, your subscribes, your comments, your questions. Thank you to all of you who answered the poll where I asked of all the different concepts that I'm thinking through what video to make, and this one on committed decisions comes from the results of that poll. So thank you for helping cultivate the content that we're putting together on this channel. Have a great one. Speak soon.